Kindy Rockstars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindy crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindy rock stars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindy Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindy Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kindy Rockstars. My guest tonight is Nicole Porter, artist and producer for You and Us. Nicole, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Patrick. It's so fun, fabulous to be here. Very excited to share.
Great to have you on. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into Kindy music.
Excellent. Well, how I got into Kindy music is a long haul in regard to loving music and loving early childhood. Started with art therapy in regard to my professional work. And then, the pandemic steered everything in its own tilted direction. And I became more mindful and aware of the impact of what I do in a clinical space, how that can be amplified for the masses and enable it to reach more people, is how my wheels got turning about how to take the creative arts into another realm that I'm not used to, and begin to create Kindy rock.
Excellent. So when did the idea kind of hit for your first song?
Well, okay, so some of the songs, there are chants throughout the album that are and like the Now Here Nowhere song, these are songs that I've used throughout the art therapy work that I do. I directed child therapy after the Sandy Hook tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut. And I've traveled all over the world since then, helping creative arts therapy teams implement art therapy programming and the use of song in those moments, like hands up high, tickle the sky, hands down low, tickle the toes. That's a moment that is really captivating when you're around dozens of children and you need their attention in that moment. So those are little pieces throughout the album that existed within me and in the work that I do and share throughout a decade or more. Going back to my early art therapy days in Philadelphia, I went to graduate school at Drexel. So that's really where it all started for me with the early childhood work and art and music. And then during the pandemic, in the very beginning, everything shut down. Right. And we're all home suddenly. And at the time I have my only child who was 3 going on 4 in the very beginning, right in the heart of magic years. So that's where Wyndham Garnett came into my family's life, and he's the co-writer with me for You and Us. And he came into our life at a time where we were like, hey, can you teach our child music? Because she's only with us. It's impossible. And that was its own magical thing, and absolutely awesome. Came from that relationship with Wyndham and our daughter Roxy. My husband Michael Davis, huge advocate of making the album happen. Like, he stepped in around the spring of last year and said, hey, you should create an album, right? And Wyndham and I at that point this time last year had noticed we had an innate ability to co-create songs, in the sense that I had seeds of songs happening around me all the time, doing clinical work, implementing training virtually mobilizing small programming locally in Hudson, New York, where I am now. The songs were happening. And then Wyndham was here as this amazing instrumentalist who was able to capture it with me and just make the songs happen. And then by the spring, I turned to him and said, well, let's really record this. Like, let's stop just recording it as we're doing it. Like, let's do the album. And his good friend, Nicholas Kinsey, has a recording studio not far away, the Chicken Shack. And that made it completely feasible to go there for 2 days at a time, 2 to 3 days at a time in pandemic parenting lifestyle. That's like 3 months. I'm like writing a thesis in 72 hours. It was really invigorating and very inspiring to be able to collaborate with like-minded musicians who brought the best out in my writing skills in a way that was having an impact with the Emerald Sketch children. So I'm also the clinical director for the Emerald Sketch. That's the name of the program that was born out of Newtown and continues now more as a global outreach network of clinicians everywhere. But the access to children, through the pandemic, I'm helping clinicians who are working with migrant children coming into the country, and knowing and really understanding the sense of security that is needed with different children all over this nation and all over the globe. So that's the root of the music and the real heart song of what got the album going. And then it was the beautiful, magical cluster of my own close friends and family network in upstate New York that suddenly the right people appeared at the right time and the album happened.
Excellent. So the album is called For Children of All Ages. So are the songs on the album, do they range for audiences from like really young to, preteen or teen?
That's such a wonderful question. I feel like the music has its own breakthroughs with genre, right? Where we really wanted to write the music so that it's incredibly joyful for adults. And you feel that, I think, when you're listening to the music. And I've had the response because I have teenagers that I work with who have lived through tragedies when they were young children, and they're now teenagers. And they seem to be responding very positively to it, as well as young adults who are often thrust into parenting situations, whether it's their siblings or their own children very young, are also responding really positively to the music and knowing that, hey, wait, there are messages inside these songs, and the songs feel really good. They're natural, great songs.
Yeah, no, this topic's actually come up a few times because I think some indie artists like myself, we create these songs, and my goal is also that the parents will enjoy the songs, and like a teenager could enjoy it, but also a young kid could enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But I sometimes struggle with, okay, is this too adult sounding? Is it not going to translate well to kids? So how do I? Sometimes I'll finish the songs like, okay, how do I pull this back a little bit and just add those elements so that it's got enough to appeal to all. So I don't know if I'm succeeding, but it's definitely an interesting struggle.
Yeah, it feels like that push into the metaphor, right? The more magical the music is, the more receivable it is, especially for the early childhood, the very young ones.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the memorable hooks and things like that'll get the younger audience in. That's your Baby Sharks, as ubiquitous as that song is, it's so simple and it's so easy to remember. And while parents may just not want to hear it 100 times a day, kids do, and so that song has that appeal. But I think it's definitely a battle to try and appeal to all ages. So
it's so funny for the listener. I'm smiling ear to ear. I'm laughing. I'm like holding back, not singing that song while you talk about it. But I try to do that with a theme of safety, right? That like really that's the ground line, the baseline that's important all the time is like, how safe does everyone feel, right? And taking that sensation of safety and security and putting into a rhythm that gets stuck in your system, right? because that's really where we want everybody to be. As long as everybody's feeling safe and secure, we're good to roll.
Yep. No, that's it. And I think that's a great segue into your featured song, which is called Safe Island.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about this song and kind of what its inspiration was and what meaning you want someone to take out of it.
Safe Island brings me, the theme brings me straight into the art therapy work, right? This magical science where people are able to work creatively, making a sculpture of an island, where I give them, as the clinician, create a safe island together. You can create something for the island or a creature for the safe island. And then observing a family or group of people, children, creating that space and noticing that they might be filling the volcanoes with pom-poms and that these volcanoes are exploding, and the representation that has for upset emotion. And then thinking about the sequence, right? Like that part of the art therapy process, when people come into work, we'll focus on safety, the relationship. Then comes the process of the story that they've lived through, right? What that upset is, what that volcano is. And it happens naturally with creativity. We tap into it with music so accessibly. So the theme of Safe Island really represents the traumatic experience, right? And how to flow with that, how to work with it, right? When the tree gets hit with lightning, how does it sustain itself so it can regrow? And using song and metaphor and play to ignite the reality that it's normal, it's horrible, war happens, it's horrible, right? These things happen and they're miserable, and we get through them, and we're resilient, and we're human, and these are the things that help us feel safe and grounded, and these are the people that love us, and this is how we're going to do it. And you and us, we've created these cartoon images that a team player from the art therapy response team, Javier Irie, is the illustrator, where it really represents that, a team of refugee, migrant, normal American children that have come together in adversity. And they're saying, no, we're going to stand our flag, right? We're going to get through this. We're safe right here. We found this place right here, and we're together. And you don't know any of that when you listen to this fun electro pop tune.
Well, even the title of the song itself, I think, invites the listener immediately to think, okay, this might have a deeper meaning to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that I do want people, educators, to be able to turn to this song when grief is happening and it's heavy and it's like, oh my goodness, this person, we lost this person. There's the loss in the community right now. And this is one of the songs that we can go to and play and move our bodies and experience it and be okay with it.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's listen to it. Here is Safe Island by You and Us. And that was Safe Island by You and Us. All right, Nicole, tell everybody how they can find and connect with you or listen to your music.
Fabulous. You can always find me at NicolePorterDavis.com/music will take you straight to You and Us. The music is streaming on all platforms. So the goal is listening. I hope you really enjoy the album. For children of all ages, it is out there and ready. You can also follow what the band is up to on Instagram at Emerald Sketch Art.
Excellent. Nicole, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an honor having you on.
Patrick, this is really wonderful. Thank you for having me. Kindy rocks.